Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Dean Road devotional. My name is Damian Barber, and I'm so glad you chose to check out today's message. I would like to start out by telling you all a story from my youth group's Thanksgiving retreat from when I was a teenager. Now, one of the ropes courses that our youth minister Chad had us do at this retreat was a wall that was about 10 to 12 feet high. We had to work together as a youth group to get every member of the youth group over that wall, from the smallest to the biggest, from the strongest to the weakest. Now, at first, Chad wasn't going to let us use anything except each other to get over this wall, but then he decided to let us use whatever we could find around. We found a big tractor tire and a couple wooden planks to help get people over this wall. Now, some people got over the wall easily without much help at all, but there were 3 people who had a great deal of difficulty getting over this wall. And then finally, 2 people had an especially hard time getting over the wall, and they were saying, "I can't do it. I give up." You see, they wanted to give up, but the youth group wouldn't let them give up. The other members of the youth group were encouraging them, saying, "You can do it. Justin and Margaret will help you get over this," as they were the ones that were at the top of the wall. They were saying they won't drop you. You're going to be okay, and you're going to make it over. Then it came down to the last girl. She was crying, saying, "It's no use. I can't do it. I'm too weak. I give up." You see, she wanted to give up, but the youth group continued to encourage her and cheer her on, saying, "You can do it. We're all going to help you get over this obstacle. You're going to make it over, and when you make it over, you're going to feel so good that you accomplished this, that you made it over the wall." So she decided to give it one more try. And the entire youth group was working together to help her get over this wall. And all the time, they were saying, "You'll be okay. You can do it." She made it over the wall. You see, she was ready to give up, but because the youth group encouraged her to give it that one more try, saying, "You can do it," she gave it that try and she made it over the wall. Now, I would like to use this story as a metaphor for our lives. The wall represents the obstacles in our lives that we have to get over. Sometimes these obstacles can seem huge and impossible to get over. The people on top of the wall, they represent God. He's reaching out saying, "Take my hand. I won't let you fall. I can help you get over this." And God can help us get over any obstacle if we put our faith in Him. However, sometimes these obstacles seem too big to get over, and we begin to lose hope and to lose faith. This is where the people at the bottom of the wall come in. The members of the youth group at the bottom of the wall represent the church or your Christian friends. As Christians, we need to be there for one another, to encourage one another all the time, and especially when someone is going through some difficult times, some troubles that they're facing in their lives. We need to be there to remind each other that God is there for us through the good times and through the bad times, and that He can and will help us get over all of these tough obstacles in our lives if we put our faith in Him. Likewise, we need to go to our Christian friends when we're experiencing troubles in our lives that seem too big to get over. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 tells us to encourage one another and build up one another. Now, if we look at Hebrews chapter 10, verses 23 through 25, it says this: "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for He who promised is faithful. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near." So we need to encourage one another all the time, and we must not forsake the assembly. We need to come to church to worship God and to encourage one another. If you do not come to church, then you cannot encourage other Christians, nor can you be encouraged by other Christians. And so it's very important that we do not forsake the assembly, and we always encourage one another. Let's look also at Hebrews chapter 3, verses 12 through 13. It says, "Take care, brothers, lest there be in any of you an evil, unbelieving heart, leading you to fall away from the living God. But exhort one another every day, as long as it is called today, that none of you may be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin." Again, we must be there to encourage one another day after day. We must encourage one another all the time so that we will not lose faith, that no one will lose faith, that no one will fall away from God. We need to encourage one another all the time. We need to remind each other that God is there for us all the time, through the good and through the bad, and that He can help us get over any obstacles, no matter how big those obstacles may seem. We must not forsake the assembly, but we must be there for each other all the time to encourage one another to stay strong in the faith. So I encourage you, if you're going through some troubles and trials, seek help from your Christian brothers and sisters. And for all of us, we need to be looking out for one another, encouraging one another, and building up one another, and praying for one another. And we ought to go to our Christian brothers and seek prayers when we are going through troubles. Let them know what's going on in our lives so that we can pray for one another and encourage one another. I hope this message has been one of encouragement to you. And I hope you'll join us for more messages in the future and check out some of these other videos if you haven't already done so. And I'll catch you in the next video. God bless and have a great week.